What up, you guys? It's Rafael with Top Shot Collectibles, and if you're new here, we run an online TCG business, TopShotCollectibles.com, from the basement of good old Illinois in the Midwest. If you haven't checked us out, links will be in the description down below. But in this channel, we show you the ins and outs of opening your own TCG business, the good, the bad, how to go about it, product acquisition, how to sell, and everything that we have encountered in running our own business. We share it here with you guys. In this video, we have a very important topic because, in my opinion, we now have entered a very important time in the Pokemon TCG market. And not everybody's talking about this topic. And so I decided to make this video to bring awareness to what is really going on and what potentially could happen. It doesn't matter if you're a collector, investor, trying to start your own TCG business or planning on starting your own TCG business. It's going to affect everybody across the board. So let's dive into it. All right, so there is massive change coming in the horizon, and if you guys haven't been paying attention, a lot of the big box retailers have now increased the prices for a lot of products, usually especially in demand products. This same exact situation happened back in 2020 and in the hype of 2017. We've heard about distributors raising prices, and local LGSs and card shops are forced to sell at higher prices for anything Prismatic, 151, any of the hot items. Now we're seeing Target, Walmart, and you've probably already know about GameStop increases in prices. Everybody across the board seems to start now to adopt this mentality of increasing the prices because there's no other way to calm down the increase in demand that we continue to have. The truth is that Pokemon Company already attempted to start printing the most product that they can. In my eyes, it did feel that they printed and pushed out a lot of Prismatic, a lot of 51 in the last couple of weeks. You guys probably already saw a lot of local LGSs, local stores had a lot of cases, not just ETBs, but cases of Prismatic ETBs, bundles. The vending machines were getting filled up. The retailers have been getting a ton of ETBs as well, and bundles 151, and just, you know, a lot of auxiliary products that have been pushed out to a lot of retailers as well. But the truth is that the amount of demand that we have right now for Pokemon products, it's not being satisfied. We have such a high demand for Pokemon TCG as a whole that Pokemon Company cannot get ahead of it and print enough to satisfy the demand. And that is now becoming more true and true as the days pass by into the summer. And now what they have turned to do, it's exactly what they did back in 2020. I don't know if this plays out like this, but in my mind, I'm thinking that a lot of the big CEOs and CFOs at Target, Walmart, and Pokemon get together and they get on a call or get on a meeting or whatever, big boy table, whatever not, and they start to discuss these things and say, hey, we have a problem. And Pokemon Company seems like you cannot print enough to fulfill the demand. So what are we gonna do? And some guy that's been around for 25 plus years running the company, doing whatever he knows how to do, why don't we increase prices, right? If you can't against them, join them. Well, what does that mean? Well, why don't we just increase prices? Not just us, Pokemon Company, but every single retailer adopts this increase of pricing as close to market as you can in an effort to undercut the resellers, undercut the scalpers that are in the hobby just to make a quick buck, right? And we have seen that started to happen. Don't take my word for it. Let me show you. All right, so here we have Target with actually in stock. This is as of today, May 3rd. You can check out 3 of them, but it's $140, $138 plus tax, guys, for this Prismatic Evolutions ETB. And look at the reviews. And I guarantee you, if you go to the 1-star reviews here, price is listed wrong, overpriced, did not purchase, MSRP is 55. This is 1 day ago. So Target is already doing this. I don't know if you guys have been seeing this, but this is already starting to happen across many retailers. What is the price at TCG Player for that same Prismatic ETB? $117. There was a little bit of a, like I said, a reprint that Pokemon did that cost a little bit of retrace on the price because it was around the 130 before they did that massive influx of product into the market a couple weeks ago. Here we have the pouch at Target. That pouch is now $60, sold out. That means did they put it up and people were actually buying it because they wanted to rip it and have that little pouch to save their cards? I don't know, but it is sold out. And again, if we go into the 1-star reviews, the reason why they have those is because MSRP is 30. Why they increased to 60? I bought one for the retail. Target is becoming scalpy. Again, this is happening. And TCG player, $58. Target, $59.99 plus tax. GameStop, same thing's happening at GameStop. Not as big as what Target is doing, but GameStop, we have already seen that they have increased their prices as well. We saw it for the bundle. Here's the bundle, $40 plus tax. Unless you're a pro, you get a little discount. But hey, MSRP for this is $27.99. That's a $10 increase, and $60, $62 plus tax for the ETB. MSRP is $55. So there's a little bit of increase at Target, but when you see $138 for Target here, this is insanity, right? This is basically above market, right? Market is 117. So we have to understand one thing. Target, Walmart, and all these retailers are increasing prices. They are not doing this because they want to make money, because they are greedy corporate America and they're trying to make money from Pokemon TCG. That's not the case. They could care less about the hobby, about TCG, about Pokemon. They don't really care. But you know what they care about? Their image. They care about what's happening, what's being put on the news of all these fights happening in store. All these people stealing product or fighting over product, the safety of their employees. They care about that. They care about the safety of them. They care about the typical mom and dad that goes to Target to the toy area to buy toys for the kids, and they see 30, 40 adults hovering over Pokemon and fighting over it. That's what they care about. So to avoid that, this is the approach that they're gonna take, right? They're gonna undercut the resellers, not to make money, but to try to put pressure on the pricing to avoid this from happening, to avoid the chaos to get worse, right? Now, if you were in the boom of 2020, 2021, I can tell you that in the Midwest, several Targets stopped putting in product on the shelves. They literally were refusing product from their distribution, and were not putting it in because it got so bad that they didn't want to deal with it. We're not there yet. If things doesn't get any better after they start to increase prices like this and people start to say, hey, you know what? I can't make a quick buck out of $130 ETB, the resellers, they can't do that. So they're gonna slowly start leaving the hobby and they're gonna put their money somewhere else or put their hustle somewhere else, right? Now, there's two potential scenarios that could come out of this, in my experience, because this has happened before. Number one is that with the increases in prices, they end up undercutting or cutting out the resellers. The product sits on the shelves. Nobody's wanting to buy it because your typical collector's not gonna buy $130 ETBs because we know the MSRP is 55 to 60. Nobody in the right mind is gonna buy it at 130, let alone rip it, knowing that the pull rates are so bad, right? Same thing with 151, same thing with any other set that they start to do this with. So that happens, they undercut the resellers, they increase the prices, product sits, they do it for a couple months, and then once the market gets to a point where it starts to settle down in terms of demand that we have now, and the Pokemon company can basically catch up with the printing, right, while this is happening, then we come back into a time where we start to see a lot more product put on the shelves, and it becomes a market where, again, the market we just came in out of, right, the flatline market. That's one scenario. It's gonna take time. It's not one day to the other, but it's gonna take time and it's gonna take a little bit of pain to get there. That's the one thing. And with Destined Rivals around the corner, and now we got this black and white set that just got announced, it's gonna be really tough to to see if that's gonna play out. But that's one situation, and honestly, I believe that that's a situation that's gonna happen. That's if every single retailer adopts this price increase as close to market as they can. If they do that, then that may be a situation that we will find ourselves essentially just waiting it out until things go back to normal. Number two, and this is an unlikely scenario, but there could be an instance or a time where this price increase could create a new baseline for resellers, right? Because if they're selling ETBs for that high and they're selling 151 bonds and all these other products higher than what MSRP is and very close to market, people could still buy them out, and people, your normal collectors, your normal people are still gonna have a hard time finding product, and our resellers are gonna say, hey, I bought it for 60, I'll sell it to you for 85. Pushing the product higher, so creating a new market price above what it currently is. So putting pressure up on pricing, right? Hopefully that makes sense. That's one situation. Now, it's gonna be up to the collectors, the people that are actually day in, day out enjoying the hobby, buying this product. It's gonna be up to them to decide if they're gonna buy at those prices. That's an unlikely scenario in my opinion, but it could be, we could fall into a situation where these increase in prices creates a new baseline and pushes prices up. And at that point in time, we're gonna be in trouble, right? In my opinion, scenario number one is more likely to happen. That's if every single big box retailer, I mean, we're talking about multi-billion-dollar companies here, Target and Walmart. If they increase prices to MSRP and that's all you can get, then we have no option. And you may be thinking, well, this is just online. We can still find product in stores for MSRP. Well, let me tell you, I put a screenshot of that here somewhere. There's been posts on X and on other platforms of people already going in person in store buying 151 bundles in Prismatic for higher than what normally they will go for. There's a screenshot of that. There's a couple of others rotating around the web. And I don't know why people are not talking about this, but this is, in my opinion, this is very important because it affects everybody across the board, right? If prices are gonna go this high at the retailers, then what are distributors gonna do? The distributors are gonna raise the prices. I mean, they're already raising prices. They're gonna start to do that as well because they're gonna want a piece of the cake. If people are buying ETVs from Target at $130, distributors gonna be like, well, you know, I'm selling it to you for a fraction. You're turning around and putting it out for this much. It's just gonna create an upwards pressure, in my opinion, that it could be very dangerous for the market. In 2020, 2021, same thing happened, but scenario number one is what ended up happening, right? The 25th anniversary happened, and right after that, after the holidays, everybody started to trickle out of the market. There wasn't quick money to be made anymore. It was like a phase, right? It died down and we went back into the flatline era. The whole 2022, 2023, and 2024, it was all flatline. Nobody really cared. Product was stocked on every shelf, every retailer, every local shop was just selling their normal, you know, new releases at their normal prices, MSRP, getting the product from distribution, and it was all good and dandy. This market, the way this market is, businesses don't really like this because this is very chaotic. There's a lot of work to deal with angry customers and you can't please everybody. And that's the problem with this market. Yes, there's a lot of money to be made if you have access to distribution and you build up your distribution for a long time. But the honest truth is that a lot of people that run businesses in a market like this, it is not enjoyable. It is a lot of work and there's a lot of headaches and there's a lot of stress because you can't please everybody and everybody wants to be pleased. Everybody wants MSRP, 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 and you don't have enough product, right? So I think I'm going off topic here, but the moral of this video and the point in this video that I wanted to make is that be very mindful of these price increases at your retailers. Make sure you're paying attention what you're buying at on your receipts when you're buying in store, because remember, these things cannot be returned. If you pay $130 or $70 for an ET or a booster bundle at Target, odds are you won't be able to return it because they're not fundable, right? And so be mindful of that and just know that it's gonna be temporary if it does happen when they start doing it. Walmart is doing it too. I couldn't find something today in Walmart that hasn't, pricing close to market for anything, but that's because I think they keep taking them out. And Walmart has a lot of other subsidiary companies that list products on there. Those are all, market basically. But Walmart has done it. I know, I'll put a screenshot here. Walmart sold ETBs at like $80 at some point when, MSRP was like $55. But that post is now gone. It's been deleted and removed one. But again, be mindful. Just know that this is happening and know that it could get worse before it gets any better. Destined Rivals are on the corner. MSRP is still happening for Destined Rivals with a lot of retailers. But after the first wave of Destined Rivals, we may see an increase in prices if the demand continues to be as aggressive as it was with Prismatic and all these other, Pokemon products that released. So again, I hope this video was helpful. And if you guys haven't checked us out, go to topseccollectibles.com. We run deals all the time. Sign up for our email list. We have a subscriber list that we do restocks every 2 weeks from time to time. We're trying to, innovate and do other things and expand because, like you guys already know, it's hard to find English product in this crazy market. So yeah, as always, stay positive, keep your head up in this crazy market, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.